Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning and welcome to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bruce Lee. I'm flying solo today. My co-host Sid Roeder is not here today, but we're going to have an interesting show with my good friend Hannah Cragen. She worked for RSVP, right?
Right, and I'll explain that.
We'll explain it all here in just a second. But before we get started today, let me just let everybody know that we are sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group, and that group is a group of professionals that have come together to provide service to the community by helping people to understand what professional services are out there and available, and to do it in a way where they're not solicited. If you'd like to know more about the group, you can check us out at empoweringseniors.info, or if you'd like to email us questions or suggestions for the show, you can send us an email at empoweringseniors.cv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. So thank you to our sponsor for allowing us to do this show, and thank you to Hannah for being here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be with you.
So we've had a really interesting conversation just prior to going on air and getting to know Hannah a little bit. But let's start with what she does, and we'll kind of get into who she is and what she's doing. Talk to us a little bit about what the RSVP program is. Just what are you doing down there?
Yeah, so first I want to say that RSVP, it stands for Retired and Senior Volunteer Program. And so when you hear that, just think older adults or adults 55 and older that are aging and they're volunteering. And so we basically just have our volunteers go and either provide companionship to someone that's feeling lonely, or we give a break to a caregiver, or we provide food delivery to those homebound seniors that can't afford grocery delivery and can't drive themselves and don't have a family member that can do that for them.
Wow. And how did you get into that?
So I saw that Sunshine Terrace Foundation decided that this community needed this program. It used to be sponsored by Bragg and Utah State University and the Senior Center for several years, but we saw that it's an existing need, and they decided to take on that grant. And I saw it as an opportunity to work with a wonderful population of people that are just giving back to the community, advancing their own independence and the independence of others, which I feel like is really important to someone to age healthily. So
awesome. Okay, well, I want to back up just a little bit because before we went on air, we were talking about how do you get involved in something like this, and the story is actually pretty interesting on the things that you're doing and kind of your path to get to RSVP. So let's kind of start with why you even pursued an interest like this. Tell me about how you got there.
Absolutely. So I decided to get a master's after having studied marriage and family studies, and I loved the principles that I was learning in my bachelor's about how to help individuals have better mental health, how to have families function, and I wanted to go further into the individual as well. So Utah State has a program called Human Development and Family Studies, is their master's program. They have many different emphases, including family finance, parenting, family policy, and aging and adulthood. And so I decided to ask around at other professors to find out what research data they were working on when I was trying to decide what to do for my thesis. And one of the professors was working with family caregivers and people with dementia. And I thought that that data was really interesting to me, seeing how family caregivers could benefit from learning educational principles about acceptance and commitment therapy and how their mental health really changed even though their role didn't change. So I thought, I want to dive into that. And so I started taking that aging and adulthood emphasis in order to do that thesis. And I loved what I was learning. I was really interested in how huge that population is and how our culture sees them not as valuable as other cultures see their older population. Other cultures really revere and look up to them. And our culture is, the okay boomer or seeing people as not as valuable. And I thought, I can make a difference here. I can see how valuable they are. I can see what their desires are and their goals as they age. And I thought it was really cool that we're all becoming healthier and aging longer, and we might have certain chronic conditions that come with that, but we're still paving our paths forward and living longer even with those. And so I really wanted to dive into that more.
How many people were in that program?
In the
besides
program?
you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably only 25, I think. They accept about 8 each cohort, 8 to 12. But yeah, so it's really small.
And this was pursuing which degree?
Human Development and Family Studies.
Right.
And so I was the only one actually in that cohort that chose that emphasis. Everyone else kind of went with parenting or early childhood, that kind of thing.
Right, right. But you went on after that too, and you went for your master's degree, right?
Yes. And I chose to go with an emphasis, or with a certificate as well. So I did additional master's coursework, and that was in anticipatory intelligence or national security. So.
Now, talk about the relationship between those two things.
So they kind of forced a relationship with my capstone project. They said, we want you to write a paper about how your current master's emphasis relates into this anticipating national security issues. And so I wanted to look into how can aging become a problem in our nation, because we're going to have a significantly growing population of older adults that are living longer, and then also people with dementia. While dementia isn't increasing prevalence, those people with dementia are living longer. So it was kind of a forced thing, but I really, really enjoyed it because it helped me connect those two passions within those two majors. So
what was a couple of big learning points that came from that where you're like, big ahas? Anything there?
Absolutely. I definitely feel like it's a problem that our healthcare system isn't correctly compensating our gerontologists, and so fewer doctors want to have that specialty. So a lot of family practitioners are taking on older adults without that specialty, and so they're overprescribing, or they're not recognizing a matrix of issues that might be going on. And there's just a lot in the healthcare field where CNAs are doing a lot of work with little certification, little pay, with a lot of expectation. And so I feel like we need to look at those issues and see how we can improve them, because what they're doing is so important, and these people that they're serving are so important.
Awesome. And that led you to the RSVP program, which again stands for what?
Retired and Senior Volunteer Program.
Retired and Senior Volunteer Program. And in a minute, we're going to talk more about that. And you're looking for people that are over 55, have some time to get out there and help.
An hour a week just serving someone that might be lonely, might need a break from caregiving, or might need a grocery delivery because they're homebound.
Awesome. Okay. Well, if you're listening out there, grab a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, and we're going to get Hannah's information here in just a second. We're coming up on our first break. If you're just joining us, we have Hannah Cragen. She's with the RSVP program, and she's helping to serve seniors in our community with that. We'll learn more about that when we come back in just a second.
Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram offers free delivery service 5 days a week, Monday through Friday throughout the valley. Just stay home and they will deliver to you. With 25 different suppliers, they won't have the shortage that others might have. Also, with compounding and many other services, they will be able to serve all your needs. In order to stay safe and help slow the spread, please call Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram at 245-DRUG, and they will take care of you.
This is Mark Thurston from White Pine Funeral Services. On behalf of all of us here at White Pine, we want to thank the community of Cache Valley for your support this past year. Thank you for selecting us as a silver winner for the Best of Northern Utah. We look forward to many more years of working with you here in our community. We know you have a choice, and we hope you will consider White Pine Funeral Services. If you have questions about cremation, funerals, or planning ahead, please contact us or visit whitepinefunerals.com.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most. Are you 55 and older and seeking a healthier, happier life? The Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, RSVP, of Cache and Rich counties may be the perfect opportunity. RSVP connects volunteers age 55 plus with older community members who need increased companionship or a break from their caregiving role. Volunteering has many benefits, including better health, a sense of purpose, and strong relationships. Call 760-4472 to get started. That's 760-4472. Share your time, share your heart. 760-4472.
When it comes to successful aging, eating well matters. Staying physically active matters. Getting socially engaged matters. Living alone, aging alone, it's harder to consistently do that. Hi, this is Chris Grohl with Pioneer Valley Lodge, where we make it easier to do those things every day. Our mission at Pioneer Valley Lodge in North Logan is to help seniors live better, age more gracefully, and stay independent for as long as possible. Pioneer Valley Lodge, an independent living community for seniors.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. If you're just joining us today, my name is Bruce Lee. I am the host. My co-host Sid is out today, so it's just me by myself. But I have here with me Hannah Cragen. She is the coordinator, actually. I don't know if we said what you are.
RSVP director, which I do volunteer coordination, recruitment, and matching.
So find a title in that someplace. RSVP coordinator. Director.
Yeah, just director is my overarching.
She's the director of the RSVP program, which is housed in the Sunshine Terrace building. Mm-hmm. And that program is a volunteer program for older adults to help older adults.
Exactly.
And we promise that we get you your contact information. Yes.
So you can contact me easiest by calling me or texting me at 435-760-4472. That's 435-760-4472. Or you can have my long-winded email, which is Hannah, HANNAH, .Cragen, CRAGUN, at sunshineterrace.org.
Awesome. And we're going to get that information for you again. So if you missed it, we'll come back to that before the end of the show. Make sure you get a chance. People would contact you to either volunteer or if they need a volunteer.
Exactly.
Right?
Or to refer someone that could use the service.
Let's talk about the service just for a little bit. So the service itself, what kinds of things are you doing?
Yeah. So our companionship visiting can be anything from, first of all, our older adults are either in their own home or in assisted living or a skilled nursing facility. Wherever they call home, basically, we will come. And that can be just your traditional talking visit. It can be, hey, I'll come play bingo with you when you're having that activity. Or your assisted living shuttle ride is going through the canyon. We'd love to join you. Or we can meet up and go to Cafe Rio, whatever you want. We're happy to do that. The only thing we don't do is drive, because that is a sister program that's coming out next year called Senior Companions.
Oh, is that part of the RSVP program, or is that?
So something I haven't mentioned yet is our national sponsor is AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps Seniors is the subdivision. AmeriCorps is the national service organization by the federal government that they make sure that they complete any community initiatives that are needing recognition or additional support. And so it's just rallying volunteers that are willing to help in those areas. And that's what AmeriCorps sponsors.
And they also sponsor the Drive program.
Exactly. So there's 3 seniors programs. That's RSVP, Senior Companions, and Foster Grandparents. Senior Companions focuses on driving people to and from doctor's appointments, to the senior center, that kind of thing. And then Foster Grandparents is older adults tutoring children in schools that are falling behind.
So these are things that will all fall under you as the director of RSVP, or will you have a partner that helps you with that? Or
they would be under a different director, and depending on who sponsors it. So You Serve Utah is who's sponsoring the Foster Grandparent and Senior Companion programs that are coming out in a year.
Gotcha.
So it just depends on what nonprofit decides to fund these organizations.
Okay.
So there's a local sponsor as well.
So, in case you're confused right now, because we just talked about a bunch of different things. Some of them you do, and some of them you don't do.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the things again that you do. So, the RSVP program. Give me an example of what someone might expect or ask for.
Yeah. So I have several people that want someone to help them pick up their groceries. So what they'll do is they'll call Lee's or another store order them, and we'll just go curbside pick up, bring it to their house, and then unload it. Then they might stay for a social visit, whether that's just checking in. It really depends on what the client wants. So if they want someone to hang out with for half an hour, we will come and hang out. If they want to play cards or canasta or chess, or if they just want to visit and talk about family or whatever, we'll do that. And that's part of our intake process, is finding out what the client really wants. Do they want someone to help them organize their cards and do cards, like making cute cards with them? Or do they just want someone to chat with because they don't have someone calling them every day, like a family member?
So how are you doing with your volunteer group? Do you have good availability? Is that a constant struggle? What's that look like?
So most of our volunteers aren't expected to do more than an hour to 2 hours a week. And many like to give more than that, but not all of them. Actually, a lot of our volunteers are still working, and even though it's called retired and senior, many of our volunteers still work, and so that 2 hours is a significant amount. The main thing is we don't struggle with availability of current volunteers. We struggle with the number of volunteers we have, with the number of people requesting services. And so we're really looking for people that do want to give that half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour a week kind of service. And that's really, it goes by fast, it's rewarding, and it's just fun because you're building relationships among a common age group.
So your volunteers start at age 55, and they go on up from there. What's the range of ages that you see?
There's no minimum, but my oldest volunteer is 89, and a lot of my volunteers are between 55 and 75. So that's the big core of it.
And how many volunteers do you have now about?
So we have about 67, I believe.
That's pretty good.
It's changing constantly how many.
But you're still looking for more.
Absolutely. We have about 80 people requesting services, and there's just that gap of people that still want that help. And so, yeah, we'd love to give it to them. We do share the load among current volunteers, but there are people waiting for someone that I'm actively trying to find someone that will fit with them, not just with a random person, but someone that will have a similar personality, that's female to female, male to male kind of thing, something they deserve.
So if I were interested in volunteering, I might expect that, maybe I can give a half hour or an hour a day for a couple times a week, and I would be with a person or a couple of people ongoing. Is that kind of what that looks like?
So you're consistently with the same person, or if you have multiple clients, it's just those same 3 people. You're not switching. So you really have a chance to build a relationship with that person, unless if something, obviously went wrong, you're allowed to change, and they're allowed to ask for someone else. But most of the time, you're really just becoming really good friends because you're seeing the same person every week, and you're both with a similar schedule. And so it's pretty cool that we are super flexible about it. We make sure that both parties are really satisfied as mutually beneficial relationship.
Okay, so if you're listening today and you're thinking, gosh, that might be something I'd be interested in doing, or maybe even need help with, or somebody that might benefit from having a visit from the program. Again, Hannah, what is the contact information?
Best way is to call me or text me at 435-760-4472. You can also go to sunshineterrace.org/RSVP. That's easier to say than my email.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's a national program, too. If they searched on RSVP, would they find other areas where people do that?
Yes. So, for example, if you're in Box Elder County, there is a Box Elder RSVP. That's just not under my jurisdiction.
It's just not you. Okay.
Yeah.
You cover Cache Valley.
And Rich County.
Gotcha. All right. This is a Senior Moment Show. We are going to take a break, and we will be right back.
Did you know 10,000 baby boomers qualify for Medicare every day? Did you know that you'll start to get swamped with mail about Medicare 6 months before your 65th birthday? Did you also know it doesn't cost anything to use an insurance agent to help you navigate through all those offers? Hi, I'm Tracy Ferris with Quality First Insurance. Let me help you understand all the offers you're receiving and find the plan that fits best for your situation. Call me today at 435-752-0101.
Hi, this is Bruce with Comfort Care. One of the ways we help loved ones stay in their home is by assisting with daily tasks. These may include bathing, meal preparation, medication reminders, and housekeeping. We even help with shopping, transportation, and errands. Most of all, we offer a trusted level of care. Let us help you live your best life possible with Comfort Care. This is Bruce, and you can call me at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
You have a lot of options when it comes to buying or selling a home. Do you list it online, sell it yourself, or do you have a realtor help? It's a major financial and emotional decision. A realtor is the liaison between buyers and sellers and really helps you navigate complex contracts, deadlines, and disclosures.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty.
I work for you to get the best outcome for your situation. Let me earn your trust with a free consultation and a free market analysis. Call me today at 512-6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
Whether you have a small business, large corporation, or sole proprietorship, remember Cook Martin Polson has provided quality accounting services since 1977. At Cook Martin Polson, they believe you've earned it, and they're going to help you keep it. Take a minute right now to call 750-5566. That's 750-5566 to set up your tax appointment and let Cook Martin Polson show you how to keep the money you have earned.
This is Jared Ripplinger with Cook Martin Polson. You've worked hard for your money. Let us help you keep it.
If you're retired or plan to retire soon, will you outlive your money or will your money outlive you? If you don't know the answer, I can help. Hi, I'm Patty Bartholomew, a financial consultant with Parsonex Securities. If you have questions about your financial plan or just need a second opinion, call me today at 435-227-5556.
Investments are not FDIC insured, nor are they deposits of or guaranteed by a bank or any other entity, so they may lose value. Investors should carefully consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the funds. This and other important information is contained in each fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, which can be obtained from a financial professional and should be read carefully before investing. Securities offered through Parsonex Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, 8310 South Valley Highway, Suite 110, Inglewood, Colorado, 801-2-303-662-8700.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. If you are just joining us today, we are with Hannah Cragen, and she is the director of the RSVP program, and I learned that in the last segment and got it right this time, right?
Yes.
And we're learning about how this wonderful program serves the community through volunteer service, through connecting people who would like to volunteer and help with those people that need it, right?
Exactly.
So my guess is, in my experience is, when you do service like that, you have some profound experiences, some that maybe you'd like to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
a couple.
It helps me knowing that the things that I'm doing and feeling like I'm always behind or always looking for more volunteers, it helps me know this is working, this is needed. So one thing that I'd like to share is during the middle of the pandemic, and this is during winter when things are really bad and people aren't visiting in person because it's a little bit dangerous to do so, one of my volunteers was just continuously calling this person each week to make sure they felt loved and felt like they had someone to chat with. And they were both females. They were both in their early 70s. And one of the clients, this client, she called me and said, I was feeling worthless the other day. I just felt like nobody cared. My kids weren't calling me. I felt like I was a burden to them. And I just was super depressed. And I was feeling this way. And then all of a sudden, my volunteer called me. And we had a great chat. And I didn't even tell her how I was feeling, but by the end of it, I felt like she cared and that I was so happy I could look forward to her phone call. Even when I forgot, it happened still. This was consistent. And she said, this has really become like a friend for me, not just like an assigned person. Like this person's really become my friend, and I didn't feel worthless after talking to her. And that meant so much to me to hear that volunteer was keeping their commitment, and they were not just like on the phone looking at the time waiting until that 30 minutes was up and was like, okay, thanks, bye. They were really putting that emotional energy and helping that person feel loved and feel cared about, and that person actually felt that. And so that meant a lot to me, that all these people are doing something that not everyone can do. There's so many people in our aging community that might be feeling this way, especially with the pandemic, and so they felt they're feeling a little bit more checked in on, and not in a like social services kind of way. Like, I have a friend that cares about me, and I have someone that wants to talk to me and get to know me better and hasn't heard my stories a million times, and I don't feel bad telling them, kind of thing. It's really, really, I just thought that was really good to hear for me, and really comforting that if that's her experience, I know others have felt that way.
Yeah, there's something about being able to do service like that really improves your own life. It's hard to give it's like you can't give and not get
Exactly.
when you do those types of things. I guess that leads me to my next question, which would be, how has it impacted you? I mean, how have you felt the impact of what you do?
Yes. And it's really hard for me to talk about it without crying, because I know that these people that we're serving and the people that are serving have legacies, have life careers that they're either coming to an end or they've already left behind for retirement, and they're still choosing to give to the community. And I think of how busy I am and how I just am impressed that they do this and that they aren't just watching the clock while they do it. They're actually invested. It means a lot to me too, because I don't have grandparents living. I just barely married into living grandparents, and so I'm really happy about that. But just seeing like their well-being change, and seeing how excited they are to feel like they're a contributing member of a community, and also feeling like someone cares about them and that they are looking forward to something that gives them kind of this positive validation of I'm making a difference. That means a lot to me, just because people in retirement might be searching for a purpose and might be searching for something that's really rewarding, really worth their time. And seeing that this is working and seeing that they're feeling this way really means a lot to me.
That's cool. So a couple of quick things. We're running out of time here, but requirements for people that are volunteers, background check, do you do stuff like that? What does that look like?
Yeah, just because we do share like their name, their address, and phone number, that's HIPAA information, they do need a background check. We pay for it. It's online. I can help you with it. It's really fast. It comes back in a day or two, so you can get volunteering immediately.
So from the time that I might decide to be a volunteer to the time that I can be with somebody is a week, couple days, couple weeks?
Volunteers, definitely. There's so many people to choose from right now that I could immediately get them within a week.
And if for some reason it's not working out, I just say, hey, you know what? We don't make a connection. Can you put me with somebody else?
Absolutely. And the resident has that opportunity as well. If they feel like, this person's really nice, but I'm not vibing, they can let me know. And I just let the volunteer know, hey, let's put you with someone else. This person is no longer with RSVP. Don't make them feel bad, and just let them create a relationship that's mutually
right. Well, thank you so much for being here today and sharing this information about these opportunities. Tell us your phone number again, so people can contact you.
Yeah, it's 435-760-4472. And just call or text me right now, and I will get back to you. Just right now while you're thinking about it. So,
Very good, very good. Well, it's a great opportunity to serve the RSVP program. Hannah Cragen is the director down there. Give her a call if you'd like to be involved with that, and she can get you going, and that will make you feel good and make somebody else feel good. This has been the Senior Moment Show. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week with another great show.